Hi, I'm Shannon Register. Welcome to another edition of Whiteboard Monday here at Register Real Estate Advisors. Today I'm going to be talking to you about why hasn't my house sold. There are some differences in the way that sellers and buyers look at the price of a home, so I'm going to discuss those with you and then give you some ideas for changing the price of your home if you think there's a problem with it. So to start with, we have seller strategy on this side of the board. So a seller would say, for example, the seller would say to me, I paid $200,000 for my house, I added $40,000 worth of upgrades, and I've owned it for 5 years, so it should have appreciated. And so they would want to sell it for $240,000 plus real estate fees that they're going to have to pay to sell it, which would be $250,000 and $259,200. They also might say to me that they want to purchase a $300,000 home and they need $180,000 to pay off their current mortgage on the home, plus $20,000 to put down on the new home they want to buy, plus cover their real estate fees. So if you add that up, their equity, assuming their equity was $15,000 that they originally put into the home, that would come up with $231,000 that would be the minimum they would want to sell their home for. So the pricing at the high end would be $259,200, where they would be walking away with enough for their down payment they want, and the minimum at $231,000, they would just kind of be walking away, clearing everything, but not necessarily having the complete down payment that they want. So this is great when sellers have this laid out for me, but the problem is the market isn't always in this price range. So you've got buyers who, let's assume, are looking for this home in this subdivision. So this buyer has qualified for $225,000, and that's the max that they can pay for a home according to their mortgage or loan officer. There are comparable homes being sold for $225,000 in the neighborhood, and the home down the street is selling for $226,000. It has granite, an outdoor kitchen, and a pool, which yours does not have. So you're looking at your buyer being around the $225,000 price point, and the seller is between $259,200 and $231,000. So you can see that it's going to be hard to get this buyer to purchase this home at this price point. So there's got to be some negotiation going on in order for the seller to sell the home and in order for the buyer to get the home. So we always say that the market gets a vote. We have a little handout that I'm going to go over with you, and it's called Why Hasn't My House Sold? And this is a little handout that's put out by the Texas Association of Realtors. And I like this handout because it makes it real easy for me to explain pricing strategies to my sellers. Now, if you've watched previous Whiteboard Mondays, you know that Cheryl Hunter did one on pricing strategies for sellers, and that's where she takes these things into account, and she also looks at the comparables in the neighborhood and helps you pick the price for your home. But once you've picked that price and you've put the home on the market, the market still gets a vote. So we use a lot of statistics to figure out what your house needs to be priced at, and then of course we also take into consideration what you want for the home. But after we've done all of that, sometimes there are still differences in what the house will sell for and what you want it to sell for and what we want it to sell for. So this is a great little handout. It's called Why Hasn't My House Sold? And it tells you reasons why it may not have sold and how to remedy that. So the first one, of course, is overpriced. If the home is overpriced, then most likely people are not even coming to look at it. So if you're not even getting any showings, then you know it's overpriced. Now, if you are getting showings, then you need to find out why they're not making an offer on the property. A good range for showings is 2 per week. That's what I generally go by. If my sellers are getting 2 showings per week, then I think we're priced right. We just have to figure out why those buyers aren't making an offer on the property. So then you have to look at what you're competing against is one of the things on the list here. You may have builders having new construction in the neighborhood that are competing at the same price points plus giving incentives for upgrades. You may have foreclosures and short sales that are being priced below your price point. So you have to look at what you're competing against, and then you have to actually get feedback from the buyers to see why they didn't make a purchase on your home, why they didn't put in a contract on your home. So for example, if they say, well, the landscaping looks really bad and the carpet needs to be cleaned and we didn't like the paint colors, then those are all things that the seller can come in and fix to get the price that they want for the home, generally speaking. But if they say the game room was too small and it didn't have a pool and we didn't like that it didn't have an outdoor kitchen, and most of the homes here do have an outdoor kitchen, then those are things that either you'd have to pay a lot of money to fix, or you would just have to come down on your price. And most of the time sellers would come down on the price because things like a game room being too small or a master bedroom being too small or not liking the layout of the kitchen, those aren't things that the seller can change. So the only way to compensate for that is to lower the price on the home. Thanks for joining me for another edition of Whiteboard Monday. I hope this helps you when you get ready to sell your home.